But yeah, here we are in the bunker. Yeah. Do a bunker review, nothing. Bunker. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, they were hilarious, by the way. Hilarious. Oh my gosh, still funny. All those cartoons that B&B did. Hilarious, man. Oh my goodness. In the bunker, that is by choice from TMP Patreons. I gave them a poll about 5 days ago. I said, hey, I have some GRVs coming up. Do you want me to do tabletop on them? Or do you want me to do bunker? And about by 30 to 35% last time I checked, they said come into the bunker. And it is fun in here. We have a great time. Here we go. And we cover all the information. It's got to be entertaining. Otherwise, why do it? Right? And that's part of the reason we put together the bunker and we come in here. I'm solo this time. Not Han Solo, but I'm just not with Tactical Doodle. This time, you'll see him again here in the bunker. He's fun. Yeah, he's hilarious. And we got some cool stuff in the background. Oh my goodness, can you believe the cool stuff back there? I cannot believe. Did you see it? You did? You did see it? Look at this, dude. Right, we got a Lavoikin, or whatever it's called, LA7 in 1/72nd scale. It's an easy model. Dang, that's a cool plane. Look at that. I think I'll just leave it in package. Lavochkin, LA7, Russian fighter, World War II. Their fighters are actually underrated, I think. I think they're pretty good. There you go. So yeah. Oh, you weren't looking at that? Oh, I know what you're talking. I know what you're talking about. In the background? I know. You're talking about the FJR. What? Yeah, that is cool. Hey, Pedro, are you watching? Yeah, he's a TMPer, Patreon member, and he has an FJR. We talk about our bikes. So cool. Great high value cross-country motorcycle. This is an older version, I think. Maybe a Gen 2 FJR, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have some other cool stuff. Maybe I'll talk about it later. And here we go with a black rifle review. Speaking of which, also by choice. I mean, I asked you guys throughout this summer, hey, should I keep doing black rifle reviews? Do you want them? Are you going to watch them? Are you sick of black rifles? And the answer in both the Patreon community and in the TMP community at large was a resounding yes, keep reviewing black rifles. And so here we go. Ruger MPR bunker review, dudes. MPR stands for more practice required. Yeah, it does. It's more practice required because when you take it out, you're probably going to suck with it. Multi-purpose rifle, I think. That's what it stands for. And this is not the first AR556 that I have reviewed. My first review posted exactly 3 years ago. November 2016. Go check that out. And I may hit some of those points, but it was just a standard plastic handguard version. It wasn't free-floated. I said it would be a great seller for Ruger at the time. I said this gun is going to take off. It's going to sell well. They're going to come out with different variations. And lo and behold, here we are. Exactly that has happened. There's all types of varieties of this direct gas impingement AR-15. It's high value for what you're going to pay. It really is. I think, I don't know if I wrote down the MSRP on this, but I'm not even going to say the price because it varies so much. It's affordable for what you're getting. Affordable. I think it's a great option, and the philosophy of use will be a standard, right? You know how ARs are utilized, what their applications are. I don't really need to say too much about that. Maybe I could add, you just don't like shooting a non-free-floated AR-15. Perhaps. So you go, well, you know, that polymer handguard version, and that came from, by the way, just like this gun, Gunnies, the great American gun store. Give them business, thank them. Their contact information is as below. Buy from them. Go in and visit them. They're in Orem, Utah. Go slug Wyatt right in the shoulder, pretty much as hard as you can. And that's because he's still not carrying enough AKs, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Not as hard as you can. I'm joking. If you do that, you're going to lay the sucker out, and he'll be in the hospital. He's delicate. But do say thank you. But I got that original AR556 from Gunnies. I took it out on loan. I ended up returning it. It shot great, mostly. It did have some reliability issues early on. I talk about it in that review. Okay, so fast forward till now. And I walked the floor of Gunnies. And actually it's why tonight, it's after closing, I'm like, oh, let's review. And you know, back of my mind, they're like, they want more black rifles. And I have done a lot at this point. I mean, most major manufacturers have representation in the project. And I always struggle with this. I was like, well, do I review different variations of the same gun, which I'm doing right now. So I said in my 2016 review, hey, I'm reviewing the AR556. It'll work for any future, I shouldn't say future, but other varieties of this platform, because the innards are going to be pretty much the same, aren't they? Yeah, so I do struggle with that. I was like, well, is that the right way to go? If you guys want more black rifle reviews, I guess I'll have to do what I'm doing now, and that is kind of give you a shorter review. This I don't think will be feature length, no way, because I said so much in that original 2016 review that can still play about the Ruger AR-15 black rifle product, the direct gas impingement one, not the AR556. So it'll still play. But here we go. Occasionally, if it strikes me, I'll do a variation of something I've done before. And that's what we have right here with the must practice or more practice required. I like that. The more practice required variation of the AR556. POU is standard. Here we go with features. They have a freaking multi-ported muzzle brake on here. It did shoot very smoothly. I have to say, this gun with that muzzle brake, it did work. But holy cow, is it loud. As to be expected, right? Bring that backing board up, nothing, so we can see it. You got it, dude. There you go. This is pre-shoulder surgery, if you're keeping track at home. I'm holding it with my left arm, though, so I'm good to go. And actually, I can hold it with my right arm. I just can't come above shoulder length with my torn rotator cuff. Enough about my health, though. The muzzle brake is very effective, and it's freaking loud. And it's ported all the way around. So in the prone position, it's going to get you dirty. And you know what the big deal about that is? I don't know if I've ever said this on any tabletop and any bunker review. Here is the big deal on that. It's not that it reveals your position. Could it? Yes. It's that it kicks dirt into your scope. And usually Murphy's Law raises its ugly head and I'm shooting into the wind or a quartering headwind. And so when I shoot prone and it kicks that dirt up, it lands right into the bell of my scope. I can't tell you how many times that's happened. And this having it like, you know, solid on the bottom of your flash or your muzzle device will not necessarily prevent that. So the shock wave alone is going to kick up that dust if you're pure prone and if it is dusty like summertime in our operational desert. Okay, and notice it maintains, by the way, this muzzle brake, the same diameter of the barrel. That's kind of cool. Standard 1/2x28 threading, so you can take it off. Luckily, they didn't put any lock nut on there. It should be relatively easy. Although I will level a criticism at not just Ruger, but everybody. They always make these flats like super skinny, so you have to get a really skinny crescent wrench or adjustable wrench, and that's what I do. This one's actually not too bad. Some are even worse, so that's kind of an industry problem. I don't know why they make it so hard for the end user to change them. Nice thick barrel. I don't have my micrometer here, but you can see the thickness of it. It's not a pencil barrel. It's a medium profile. Goes thicker after the gas block. This is a rifle length gas system, dudes, on the more practice required version of the AR556. That is cool. Daddy liked the rifle length gas system. Softer shooting, less wear and tear, less heat put into your BCG. I love it. Mid-length at a very minimum for most barrel lengths. I don't like carbine length. It's either going to be a mid-length or a rifle length is what I like. So that's very cool. Non-adjustable, so it's a standard gas block. I didn't really see how they're attaching it, I suspect, with Allen screws, which works fine. Just keep them tightened. You don't need to have it cross-pinned. And I have my freaking sunglasses on, so I can't even see it. Doesn't matter. Handguard is a win. I like the handguard on the multi-purpose rifle, AR556. It's skinny. It's skinny. So it's really comfortable. There's no hot spots on it. M-LOK compatibility is featured. Full pick rail. Here's something I'm going to say. I've said it before, but I need to start reiterating it because they're not doing it. They need to quit running pick rail all the way out here. Maybe just a short span as it comes towards the front if someone wants to put BOIS on it. But get rid of this pick rail to right about here. And that will save, I don't know, an ounce, 2 ounces of metal. There are makers that do that. I've seen those. So they're smooth and just have like a bump of 1913. This scope, by the way, is an old scope. It's a Burris 3x9. It's running in, I forget who makes that mount. It's just a tester scope, and we throw that on. So we go through a lot of scopes here, constantly taking them on and off. So this is, I'm not going to say this is the best scope for the gun. It's just a tester scope. I sure love that olive drab coloration though. This is a limited production olive drab Burris scope, medium quality. I wouldn't say this is ultra quality scope. They're not available anymore. I do like this. It has target turrets on it though, so you can adjust it. I usually don't use my 3x9s for long distance shooting. You can see fluorescent paint on there so I can see where my come ups are. Yeah, it's adequate power range for testing for sure. Note they don't include BUIS on the MPR. Yeah, they don't. And I've said this before. That's about what's going on these days. I think when we first started doing TMP, that BUIS was the call of the day, and everyone acted like, oh, your scope's going to fail. You need iron sights. And I got to say, I kind of liked it when they put them on there because I could always take them off and I could have them if I needed them. One reason I liked them is because we do scope off irons only drills. Yeah, so I love it when they include it, but it's more cost, it's more weight, and pretty much no one uses it. The scopes these days are so good. The mounts are so good, assuming you've mounted it properly. Standard charging handle. Forged 70-75 lower standard AR. I much prefer that, like I've always said, over billet. Stronger, more corrosion resistant too. I forgot to mention that in previous reviews. And you don't have to swap in a rounded trigger guard here. And we have an MOE pistol grip here. Still to this day, probably my favorite. I just love it. It has a perfect texture. I never put anything up here. Well, I shouldn't say never. Once in a while, I'll put a battery up there, wrapped in a plastic baggie so it doesn't rattle around. I have done that before. But as far as putting tools, anything metallic up there that I don't really need, forget about it. Ain't doing it. Standard AR controls. No big enhancements. On this value AR, it really is a value AR for what you're getting. The innards are actually pretty high quality. I mean, Ruger's not messing around here. Shot peened, totally tested 9310 bolt steel, Ruger says. And from what I understand, they also gave it the peanut butter to graham cracker crust test. Yeah, so they disassemble it, they roll it in peanut butter, then they put it in graham cracker crust, put everything back together, and they see if it's reliable. So if it can pass that, dudes, it's amazing. Yeah. Peanut butter test. The bolt carrier is made of 8620 steel, Ruger says. Everything is chrome lined. Yeah, it's high quality. Oh, I don't remember if the first version I tested was all of that. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. This one is. I mean, that's a lot of quality for your money. And I love it when a manufacturer brags about that stuff. Okay, maybe not the peanut butter test, but everything else. I like it. And I've always said, if they're doing it, they're going to brag about it. They're not going to do like magnetic particle inspection and go, let's not tell them about that. They're going to tell you about it. You know, shot peening, they're going to let you know. Ruger's letting you know. 18-inch barrel, I forgot to mention that. You know, medium thickness, rifle length gas system. I still like an 18-inch barrel. I really do. On the ARs I build, and I think I have one of my ARs in the background. Oh, it's really low back there. I don't know if you can see it. It's out of frame. But I have like a 16 lightweight for like mid-range, and then if I go longer shots, I'll pin on an 18-inch SPR upper. I've always said that. You can watch my video, The World's Greatest AR-15 Build. I'm joking when I say that. It's just a title for a video. And I talk about all my builds and my philosophy behind it. I like it. This is kind of, with that 18-inch barrel, the rifle length gas system, it's kind of like an SPR attempt, right? Which years ago, and I criticized this, like, where's all the 18-inch barreled ARs? I mean, you remember those videos I did years ago? I was like, holy cow, there's no 18-inch barreled ARs, and I just couldn't understand why. The military was using them all the time with great success. And then in the civilian community, it's like some competitors were using them, but no, everything was 16, 16, 16, and things have changed. There's a lot of 18s out now, and I'm like, hallelujah, great. It can serve as your all-around barrel length size for sure. Like I said, it's only slightly heavier, gives you some more velocity, depends on the barrel. Yeah, so high quality, features review. I like this stock right here. And I've shot it, I think, in a couple other platforms. It's a Magpul SL adjustable stock. It's just awesome. That's a mil-spec buffer tube here. It's really good. I mean, it's almost as good as my preferred MFT stock. I think it's pretty lightweight. You got some single point attachment cups here. I don't think you have one in the fore end here. Take your glasses off, Nut, and you can see better if you do that. Nah. Afraid the paparazzi might show up. Nice butt pad on this. Does Magpul make any crap? I don't think so. It's like everything Magpul does is really smart. They make some stuff that's too heavy for me. I go, I don't like that, it's too heavy. There's some butt stocks that I've talked about. I was like, no, thank you, I don't need that. But mostly what they do is super high quality. It's put together right. Their magazines are industry standard. That's a 20, just a black P-Mag. Dude, freaking awesome. I love Magpul. And I like how they left Colorado too. I like that even more. That's hilarious. I think I mentioned this standard charging handle. We're not going to break into it. We can't learn anything by doing that. I talked about the innards already. Good AR-15. Good AR-15. Oh, I forgot this. The trigger. They call it the Elite 452, and it is a great trigger. They actually sell it separately. I didn't really know that, but you can go get an Elite 452 trigger from Ruger. I think it's around 150, 160. It pulls at about 4.5 pounds, 2-stage. It's pretty awesome. I like the trigger in it. It's a great trigger. So that's a lot in AR for the money. It really is. But it really doesn't matter if it doesn't shoot. And now we go into that portion. How did it shoot? I always generate a lot of paper, dudes. I mean, I could go target, 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 and I look at my watch and say, oh, freak, I've been doing targets for 10 minutes in this GRV. We're not doing that. We just go to a couple, give you a flavor of the fever. So this is a great group right here. It came off paper, and Sean, the TMPer, helped me test this, so we took it on multiple outings. I think on my first outing, it was kind of like, I thought this thing shot better, and it might be this target. So you see a squiggly line there? For an AR-15, that's not horrible. That's not horrible. But the thing is I came into it with expectations of the first Ruger AR556 I tested in 2016. That thing was incredible. You're talking like sub MOA, and it wasn't a free-floated handguard. It was a 16-inch standard AR, value AR, and it's like boom, 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 MOA, boom, 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 MOA. It's like, whoa, that thing was accurate in the desert. So that's why you're seeing a squiggly mark. I would expect this in its 18-inch SPR configuration to shoot a lot better than that. I shot some 77s out of various makes and models. That's better. I'm not going to give it like a thumbs up. Do you see a thumbs up on any of those, or like an up arrow? Nope. I can't remember who shot this. Was it me? Was it Sean? This is better right here. Out of the more practice required AR556, and maybe that's the problem.
Gun, let's walk on down.
More practice required. This is okay. That's not okay. I think these are 55s, FMJs. I think I have a note there. Middle target, not great. Now we're talking. I think this is what the gun is capable of doing. So this Ruger AR556 MPR with really good ammo it likes, that's the deal. I will say though, I did not see that magical accuracy I did with the original AR556. What I saw out in the desert, and I just showed you the paper, more or less is about 2 MOA accuracy, sometimes a little bit more. I was a little bit surprised at that. I was like, that thing should be shooting better. 18-inch barrel. What do I always say? Barrel quality, right? So it makes me wonder what the barrel quality is like on this particular sample of the MPR. I almost wanted to go test it again, but with the shoulder surgery coming up, and I got a lot of steel to throw in front of you guys, I don't have time. So I'm not gonna say this thing is inaccurate. I'm gonna just kind of say it's 1.5 to 2 MOA in normal shooting, and I'm also going to say I think it should be better because it has that reputation. Ruger has that reputation with me personally. If you have an MPR, please in comments say what accuracy you're getting. I did do some research, and I found that my results are pretty representative of what guys are getting out of their MPR. One dude said he shot Aguila 55s. He got 3.3-inch groups at 100. That is horrible. That's mini 14 accuracy. Sorry, Ruger. Black Hills 55. That's usually a really accurate load. 2.7 inches. You know, some of those groups are 2.7, even bigger. Like this one is bigger. goodness. Hornady 55 grain. That should shoot MOA all day long, I think. Dude said he's getting 2.3 inches. So what you're seeing might be representative. Accuracy definitely falls well below the standard of my AR builds. I mean, when I put together an AR, I spend money on a barrel. This is a BCM enhanced lightweight. I'm not going to say it's the best barrel in the world. I'm not. There's great barrels out there. The Odin Works, I've got amazing accuracy out of. The Rock River barrels are fantastic. They shoot really good MOA. But if I'm going to put together an AR, if I put together an AR and it's shooting like that, I would probably go flush my head in a toilet. Yeah. Flush your head in the toilet, man. Flush it. I probably would. I was like, yeah, I failed. I need to go back to the drawing board. Something's wrong. Actually, what I'd do, realistically, not goofing around, is I'd take that barrel off and throw it in the garbage.
Great trigger, really smooth.
I shouldn't say that. It's not that horrible. But if I'm putting together a component rifle and I don't get the performance that I'm spending my money to get, then something's wrong. And I'm just driven. I'm like, if I'm putting together my AR, that freaking thing's going to be accurate. Are you that way too? It's got to be half MOA. Otherwise, why bother? I'll just go buy a rack rifle, and a lot of those are shooting MOA. And I've said that in all my black rifle tabletops. I'm like, really think about going out and building versus taking something off the shelf that shoots MOA. And I've reviewed a lot of AR-15s that shoot pretty close to MOA or actually sub-MOA. Rock River, again, and they put together a good AR product. They do. I haven't reviewed one of them forever. I know there's some bad blood against RRA, but the rifle itself, pretty excellent. Okay, so it shot super soft, super loud with that 30-point perforated muzzle brake. I love the handguard. Accuracy could be better. Would I buy the Ruger AR556? More practice required. I'm really on the fence, to be honest with you. I love the price. I love the feature set. I like the quality inside. All that's good. But you know me. I'm an accuracy snob. So if this thing had shot like half MOA with like really good loads, I'd be like, dude, this thing is such a win. I'm on the fence. I could buy it, not buy it. Again, tell me if you're getting better accuracy out of yours. And I wished I had more time to go out on outings with this, and maybe I tighten those groups up, but I gave some data where guys are getting kind of what I'm getting. I'm on the fence, so I'll just kind of leave it neutral. Say and comment if you love the AR556. Say and comment if you watched my first review 3 years ago. And also a big thanks to all my TMP Patreon members keeping the project going after all these years. Yes, a lot of years of work, and it is a buttload of work. Yeah, so I need TMP Patreon. I ain't gonna do it for free. I ain't. It's too much work. It's too much sacrifice for other things that sometimes I'd rather be doing. But I do TMP, and I got my shoulder to the grindstone. Oh, check that. I actually have my shoulder in a sling soon enough, post-op. Join TMP Patreon. I'll give you updates on what's going on with the shoulder surgery. I'm probably going to be laid up for like 3 months. That is horrible, nothing fancy. We wish you luck. Thank you. Fun bunker review. We'll see you later. Signing off.
Different flavor, Ruger AR556. Shooting Winchester annealed 55 grain FMJ. Old Burris scope on it. I love it. About 200 yards. Good enough.